But he was talking about Drake Maye, who has had a non-linear development this summer. There's been some ups and downs, some good days, some bad days. Even some of the good days, if you remember, Josh McDaniels talking about on the broadcast, which, side note, I do like the in-game interviews they've been doing at Kraft Sports Production with Josh McDaniels, Elliott Wolf, some of the key guys, decision-makers during the game. Nice addition. But Josh McDaniels talked about everything that Minnesota threw at him during the practice week he handled pretty well. Like the wheels didn't fall off the cart, so to speak, which maybe they could have. So let's just start there. The Patriots won 20-12. Patriots are 2-0, baby. Undefeated Patriots. We feel like an undefeated football team right now. Is that how we're trending right now? Because it doesn't really feel like that to me. But Ted Johnson, I'll start with you. If I just said, like, what was your biggest takeaway from little Saturday afternoon football, which is your forte, we learned?
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is that the biggest problem with this team is going to be depth. That's going to be their biggest problem. I mean, that was probably my biggest takeaway since the beginning of this. They're not going to have the horses to get it done if they have guys getting hurt in key positions. That's my biggest takeaway. It's really hard to glean too much when you consider the two teams they played in preseason didn't even start their starters on both sides of the ball. I mean, honestly, so it's I will say this. It's just, I think, another big takeaway in a positive sense is it's going to be more buttoned up. They did have a delay game penalty, which I found interesting. And I just, do you guys, a side note, do you guys know the length of time from which Tom Brady got a delay game penalty to his second delay game penalty later in his career, if that makes sense?
What, 2 years, 3 years?
Multiple seasons. 5 seasons. 6 seasons. 7 seasons.
7 seasons.
7 seasons between delay of game penalties.
A delay of game. Think about that. You know what? It's just, you see them all the time. Aaron Rodgers gets, 20 of them a year. And Tom Brady went 7 years between delay of game penalties. So, look, no, that's going to be expected for a young guy trying to get a handle on this new offense. But it's going to be more buttoned up. But I just think they're not going to have the horses to me be I don't know play. They're borderline playoff potentially built type of team. But if they get too many injuries in key positions, then all bets are off.
So, Fitzy, I'll give you your opportunity. We can call this the Effton Chisum game because I think almost universally during the game and then the reaction to the game was that the man with 6 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown was Effton Chisum, was going to make the roster. Now, we've had a little wrinkle here where he's missed practice. He was injured in the performance, but
he won't play tomorrow night,
Yeah, no, he's on a whole list of guys that won't play tomorrow night. But you want to take a victory lap for your boy Effton Chisum?
I just love the fact that 2 weeks in a row, Mike Vrabel continued to talk about his effort, his playing strength, and how much work the kid has put in and that it's paying off. It's just a real feel-good story. Forget about the fact that, New England loves their tiny white slot receivers, and he's a perfect fit for the McDaniels offense. Both of those things can be true. But the fact is, the kid is making good on not just being a college freak who set all the records and knocked off Cooper Kupp's records at Eastern Washington. He's delivering on the potential and showing you why the Pats dropped $259 guaranteed on him as an undrafted free agent. He may just be more than just like a fun little camp story, Andy. He may be an important cog to a nice little component of this offense that hasn't had a wide receiver not named Effton Chisum yet stand out during the entirety of the preseason. The only offensive standout, aside from Chisum, is Travion Henderson.
Yeah, which leads me to believe, and I said this a while, like the running back room is good. I heard it was Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson actually doing sort of a joint simultaneous press conference the other day talking about the room. And you've even added Jermichael Hasty.
Which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, well, and a lot of people are. I'm reading some of these.
He looks good.
We should mention the preseason finale is tomorrow night in New York. Next Tuesday will be the cut down to 53-man.
I like how they do it now.
Yes.
They don't just,
they
one
used
and
to,
done. Yeah, they used to, have three different cut down periods. And now it's just they go from 90 to 53, which is better. Just one cut down day.
So you're starting to see the projections come out. The Athletic had one. The Globe had one. I've started to read them all. And JaMychal Hasty is starting to be on the roster in a lot of those projections, which is interesting.
I'd have no problem with that.
And if that's true, like that's definitely one of the better groups on the team, because you have guys out there that I think we all like in different layers or categories, but we've seen them all make plays.
So that means definitely not 7 wide receivers is my guess. They're going to keep 3 tight ends. Westovers is staying. 87. He's been your lead fullback.
Let's go. No, he's doing a good job. It's kind of fun seeing an 87 out there as a lead blocker.
Yep. He is doing a good job. But you're right. The running backs and JaMychal Hasty in particular have impressed me.
And so we do need to talk about, we kind of led in with the audio of Phil Perry talking about Drake Maye. And I said to you guys in the elevator, I think yesterday, one of the things that has sort of benefited from us doing 2 days of Jimmy Fun Telethon was us not exactly following closely and talking and reacting to what was coming out of the practice fields. There were some really bad performances by Drake Maye.
In the last couple days.
Yeah, last couple days, including one in which Phil Perry tweeted out, in 11-on-11 work, there were 18 dropbacks for Drake Maye. He had him down for 7 sacks in those dropbacks. And I'm not saying that's
not
just Drake Maye. That's the combination of the offensive line and Drake Maye, but that's your passing game. That's what you need to do in the year 2025 in the NFL. I think we all can put to bed the idea that you're just going to run the ball, play defense, kick a field goal, and win the game.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen. Are you, Ted, growing concerned with this line, Drake Maye, sacks, turnovers situation?
I don't know how you can't be. I don't know how you can't be. I still think it's going to be better than last year. I really do. But there's the offensive line. It definitely is. You put the panic. You've hit the panic button on the Red Sox season after last night's performance, and I'm close to hitting it with the Patriots with the offensive line, just because it's the same. It's the same problems we've been hearing. This offensive line's been an issue for years, and they haven't really done anything. I don't know, drastic. Like the Bears that traded for 2 interior offensive linemen in March. They knew they had problems. They were tired of their offensive line being the biggest issue for their team last year, that it stunted the growth of their young quarterback in Caleb Williams. So they went out and made aggressive trades in March, and it's benefiting them already right now. Caleb Williams had a great preseason game the other night, and we're still talking about Drake Maye's development being delayed, mostly and partly and most probably assuredly because of the offensive line.
Well, and part of the issue isn't just the performance. Obviously, that matters. Like, you blocking people, you protect. We still don't really know what the line's going to look like. And is that Ben Brown? Is he suddenly entering the mix here after a nice end of the season last year?
He had a nice preseason game the other day.
Right. But they've all, I feel like, had some nice performances and then some less than nice performances that leads Doug Marrone and Mike Vrabel to say, maybe give this guy a chance at this spot. And I don't know what we're going to get. Like, right now, I don't know if I would be willing to bet on a starting 5 come the opener against the Raiders. And you're right, Ted. It all starts from there. Like that, as much as we want to talk about Stephon Diggs and we want to talk about Travion Henderson being this steal of a draft pick and Drake Maye being a stud in year 2, if the 5 guys up front stink, the rest are all going to stink too. They're not going to be able to do their jobs. And I don't know right now exactly what that's going to look